In today's video, we are talking about subtle signs you've moved beyond middle class. A lot of people want to climb that socioeconomic ladder and move above middle class. It can be exciting and a little bit surreal. So today, let's talk about those different signs that are still subtle, but show that you are moving beyond the middle class. I am Tiffany Thomas, your wealth mentor. I achieved financial freedom in my 30s and became a millionaire at 40. I'm here to help you do that even earlier and easier and without bias, since I do not work for any third parties. And if you do want to work with me to help build up your wealth over time and become financially free, I have a coaching program. I will leave a link below, and you can click that link in the description and check out more details on how you can work with me. All right, let's dive into these subtle signs you've moved beyond middle class. The first sign that I want to talk about is that you are no longer focused on saving, but investing. And this is key because in order to become or go out of middle class, beyond middle class, you definitely need to be investing your money and not just saving your money. I personally used to be really good at saving and not so good at investing. But once I switched over and started investing my money, I saw it grow exponentially. And that is truly what helped me become financially free and become a millionaire. So when you are not so worried about saving or building up your emergency fund, you're more focused on investments and increasing your passive income, then you have started to move beyond the middle class. So that one is pretty exciting because you can see your investments growing exponentially, and you may even be living off of your investments only, or you may have just other sources of income instead of just one single source and having that be from a 9-to-5 job. And then the second sign that I want to talk about is that you're no longer trying to keep up with the Joneses. You're no longer trying to compete with anyone else around you. You feel comfortable where you are because you've built that financial security for yourself. So you're not looking at your neighbors and thinking, oh, they have a really nice boat. I need a really nice boat, or I need even a nicer boat. You have created your wealth already. So if you want to get a boat, then you can get a boat. But it's not about competing with other people or trying to keep up with other people. That's not really your focus because you have made it already. You already have the assets that you need to produce income. And so if you want to buy certain liabilities, things that are going to cost you money, not make you money, then you're free to do that. But it's not about keeping up with someone else. And then the third item, the third sign, is that you value money and time differently now. When you are in the middle class, at least for me, it was more about trying to make money, and I would spend a lot of my time trying to do that. But now I value time more than money. So I'm not trading time for dollars. I have passive income sources that are bringing in the money. So I don't have to trade time for dollars. And I can focus on things that I want to be spending my time on. It doesn't have to be things that are going to make me money. It can be simply spending more time with my family or volunteering my time, working free. It's not focused on that money side of things. So the way you view money and time becomes different once you are above that middle class. And then the fourth subtle sign that you've moved above middle class is that you can afford personal services like a housekeeper or a chef or even a personal trainer. There are just things that you may not want to take care of, and now you're able to afford to hire someone else to take care of those things for you. If you really don't like cleaning your home, then you are able to hire someone to clean your home for you. They can come in and do a deep clean, or they can do just a weekly clean. They can vacuum for you. I personally don't like vacuuming. That's one of the reasons I got rid of all of the carpet in all of my properties. But they can just come in and take care of those cleaning items that you don't want to do. And this kind of goes along with the one before, right? Because you're not spending time on cleaning if that's not something you want to be spending your time on. You're able to pay someone to do that for you. And then also you're able to hire a chef if you really don't like cooking, if you don't want to spend your time doing that. You can have someone come in and cook your meals for you. And then even hire a personal trainer if you need some more motivation to be working out, or if you just want someone to set up your workout plan for you and kind of guide you with that workout. Then you're able to do that. You can hire someone and pay them to help you become healthier. And this kind of ties into the next one. Sign number 5 is that you are able to take care of your health better or more easily. If you really don't like cooking, and so you would eat out all of the time, and now you're able to hire that personal chef, then you're able to eat healthier foods. Or you could even just go to restaurants that offer healthier items, or choose a healthier item at a restaurant, which can be more expensive sometimes. But that is something that you're able to do because you have the money to do it. You're not so stressed for cash all of the time. And then going back to the personal trainer, you're able to take care of your health better because you have the time to do that. If you are working a 9-to-5 and you're working overtime constantly, it's hard to find time to work out, to take care of your health. But when you aren't so focused on making the money all of the time, then you're able to make your health a priority. You will be able to find time to work out because you can schedule it in, and you can even sign up for that personal trainer if that's going to help you. And I personally love doing Zumba. I teach Zumba on Saturdays actually, and then I go to another Zumba class throughout the week. And I'm able to spend time on that because I do have that financial freedom, that time freedom. So I'm able to improve my health and have the time to do that. And then sign number 6 kind of ties into this as well, but you have time to take off. You have more vacation time. You're not so worried about working and getting more money on your paycheck. You actually have time to take vacations. And you're also not so worried about the price of your vacation. Not that you are being so extravagant and just spending money wherever and however, but if some things are a little bit higher, especially with inflation, then you're able to be okay with that. You have the money to still take a vacation, and you have that time to take off. I remember when I had my 9-to-5 job, I was concerned. I didn't want to take time off during the busy season. But if you are moving above the middle class, you're not so concerned about that. If there's a family vacation and everyone else has those days off, then you're more likely to be able to take that time off. You're not going to be stressed thinking, oh, I'm not going to be able to work overtime and make the extra money that I want to. And sign number 7 is property ownership. This could be owning your own home outright or simply owning rental properties. But you have the funds, the means to have properties, to have home ownership. And I personally love doing real estate investing. I have 2 other rentals right now. I used to have 3. And if you want to know why I sold one, I do have another video. I'll leave a link above. You can check it out later on. But nonetheless, you can create passive income through real estate. And if you want to be a little bit more hands-on like I do, I manage my properties myself. But if you want to be a little more hands-off, you can definitely hire a property manager and pay for that service. But this one goes along with kind of stepping out of that middle class because you're able to invest in real estate. It's not cheap to invest in real estate. You have to come up with a down payment for the property, and housing prices have gone up significantly over the years and will continue to rise over the years. But you're able to have that source of income, or even just not have to pay a mortgage anymore if you've paid off your home. And then sign number 8 that you've moved beyond middle class is tax planning. You're able to hire a tax advisor, or you're able to reduce the amount you're paying in taxes, but you're very savvy with that. We pay a lot of money in taxes, especially in the middle class. So once we have realized how we can reduce our tax bill, we're definitely going to do that. And we are going to be really smart about that and not have to pay as much in taxes, which means we keep more of our money, and that just builds our wealth over time. And then item number 9 is charitable giving. You're able to either give time or money to charities or something that you believe in nonprofits or whatever type of organization. But if you are so strapped for cash, you're definitely not going to be donating your money or your time. You're going to be so focused on working for the money and building that money up just to pay your bills. So if you're able to give to a charity, whether that's through your time or your money, that is another sign that you are moving above middle class. And then number 10 is that you don't carry any bad debt. So there are no credit card bills that you're still paying off with a really high interest rates. You've paid off your student loans. You may still have a mortgage, but there's not that high interest debt that you are still carrying because you're able to build your wealth and have that grow. So it's growing and you have already paid off any type of bad debt. And then sign number 11 is that you've put your bills on auto pay and you don't worry about them. You are completely comfortable putting them on auto pay and knowing that you'll have money to pay those bills. You aren't constantly checking what your credit card balance is, worrying that you aren't going to be able to pay that off, or worrying that you've spent too much money in certain areas. You're able to just set up auto pay and let those auto payments go through and know you have plenty of money to pay all of your bills, plus have extra to travel or spend on whatever you would like to. I know for me, I personally have all of my bills on auto pay. It makes it so much easier to manage my money. I don't have to log into my power bill or my heating bill or my internet or all of the other bills that I have. They're all on auto pay. They all get paid. And I also like to track these things. So I do use a free app that's called Empower. If this is something you're interested in, I will leave a referral link below. You can click on that link and set up a free app. But essentially you can connect all of your financial accounts to Empower. And that way you can see your full financial picture in one place very quickly. You can see all of your bills that have been paid. You can see the amount in your checking and your savings. You can see all of your investments. And it just makes it so much simpler. Comment below and tell me how you like to keep an eye on your money. I am curious to know. And now let's talk about the last sign. And this one I think is the most interesting. It is you're not worried about financial downturns. When we are in the middle class, we want our investments to grow. And sometimes money can be a little bit tight. And if there is a financial downturn, we are going to be worried about that, because we don't have enough in excess to handle a long-term financial downturn. But if we have moved beyond middle class, then we are not really worried about a financial downturn. We have our investments growing, we have different sources of income, and we know we can make it through any financial downturn. So we are going to be just fine. These are the 12 subtle signs you've moved above middle class. I'm curious to know, have you seen any of these signs in your own life? Comment below and let me know. And if you are interested in working with me to move beyond middle class and become financially free, then make sure and check out the link below in the description on how you can work with me. And if you found this video helpful, make sure and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.